Yo, what is going on, you stingy Seedra? Today, doing something different, something I've never done before, which is kind of like a upcoming card review. Look at, I don't even know what to call it. I usually don't look too far ahead into the future as far as new sets and new cards go for Pokemon. But I'm super intrigued by the bird trio that was leaked today, or yesterday by the time you guys are seeing this video. And I thought I would go ahead and take a look at them and give you guys my thoughts. The one we're going to be looking at today is Galarian Zapdos. We will be looking at Moltres and Articuno in the days to come or coming up. But yeah, we're looking at the Zapdos. And if you guys want to catch me playing new Pokemon cards when they do release on PTCGO, you should go check out the live stream. First link in the description, twitch.tv/AzulGG. Anyways, Galarian Zapdos. Let's first go over the card with the ability Fighting Instinct. For each Pokemon V your opponent has in play, as the Pokemon's attacks cost a colorless less. And then for Fighting Colorless, we got the Thunderclap Kick 170. Before doing damage, discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. When your Pokemon V is knocked out, they take 2 prize cards. Weakness to Psychic ×2, resistance none, retreat cost 1. Okay, so obviously right off the bat, I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, great answer to Eternatus, right? And it is, right? It's fighting type. They've got a couple V Pokemon in play. Then you do 170 for fighting colorless, or even just a fighting if they have 3 V Pokemon in play, which Eternatus usually has quite a few V Pokemon in play, so that shouldn't even be that difficult to pull off. And then it says before doing damage, discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon before doing damage, which means they can't even play weakness guard energy as an answer to this thing being a potential threat. Like, you can't have a dark energy and a weakness guard on your turn just to be like, ha, I'm not weak to fighting. Because Thunderclap Kick says before doing damage, which means it'll discard the energy, then do the damage. Usually they kind of happen simultaneously and it would like protect it potentially, but not in this instant. In this instance, energy gets discarded. So you discard the weakness guard and then you're like, all right, 1-hit KO, you're Eternatus. Now Big Charm would be something that would be an answer to the Galarian Zapdos for Eternatus, because it would put it over that 340 that the Zapdos does hit for, but dual scrappers in the format. So Galarian Zapdos looks like a great answer to Eternatus VMAX. Well, not every deck plays fighting energy, right? So, I mean, decks that I can think about that could definitely play this card would be something like a Mewtwo box with Aurora energy would be really good in something like that. Maybe a deck gets kind of built around this Colossal. Might be a good card in Colossal in general, just something that can attack for 1 energy. Which is kind of what I want to talk about with it next, is it doesn't have to just be an Eternatus answer. It can kind of be just an efficient response to a ton of situations, potentially. You could play this in like an Urshifu deck, potentially, because it's just that 1 fighting energy for 170 damage, if they have enough V Pokemon in play, can just be a super efficient attack to use on your turn. So it doesn't have to simply be an answer to Eternatus VMAX. It can be played, I feel like, in a lot of situations, as long as your deck does play fighting energy. If your opponent just has enough V Pokemon in play, just being able to do 170 for 1 energy after they knocked out whatever other Pokemon you had set up is pretty good. So yeah, definitely really strong against Eternatus VMAX, but I think has a ton of potential in any deck that just kind of plays fighting energy, especially as we move towards rotation. And once rotation happens, we'll be left with like only V Pokemon to work with, which means there's going to be a lot more of those, a lot less GXs in play, which means it's going to be a lot easier to pull off Thunderclap Kick for just a fighting energy. So as long as you play fighting energy, kind of just a good Pokemon to maybe have around in your deck in general. And that's it. That's a Galarian Zapdos V. It looks pretty strong overall as a good counter card to Eternatus, but then also maybe as just kind of like a consistent one of, as long as you're playing fighting energy or like Aurora energy, just having it as a one of in your deck to be able to do 170 for 1 energy potentially is just always kind of good. Yeah, that's the Galarian Zapdos V, and I'll be coming at you guys soon with the Moltres and the Articuno.